Easter is that feast that encourages us to look for new beginnings, to find signs of new life at the very moment when all seems lost, even hopeless. In the Gospels on Easter, the women go to the tomb expecting to find Jesus' body. Instead, they're met by an angel who declared that the one who was crucified has risen. God has taken everyone by surprise, the Roman guards, the women, and the other disciples. We're told that the women went away quickly, fearful, yet overjoyed. God had completely shattered their expectations. In raising his son from the dead, God has done immeasurably more than all they could have asked or imagined. St. Paul, in his first letter to the Corinthians, captures this when he writes, "Eye has not seen nor ear heard, but the human heart conceived what God has prepared for those who love." Easter reveals our God, who continually brings new life out of our burdens, our sadness, our deaths. Easter teaches us that because God is at work among us, even our bitter disappointments can contain the seeds of new beginnings, and even our most painful experiences can be life-giving for ourselves and for others. We've all shared in various degrees in that sad journey of the women, experiences that drain us of energy, enthusiasm, and hope. It might be the loss of health, a job, a breakup in marriage, the death of a loved one, children who've left the faith even after years of Catholic education and humble and authentic Christian witness by parents, on and on. But Easter assures us that God can work powerfully in such dark places. In my prayer in my chapel each morning, there's a portion of a prayer that expresses this reality. We hear these words, "In your loving and tender mercy, Lord and Father, assist especially those who are poor and deprived, those who suffer, and all are without hope in this life unless you come to their aid. It is you alone who can bring great good out of the worst evils by your unbounded power. So we trust you to curb the malice of the wicked, to convert sinners, and bring us all to a knowledge of your love." Words that again I pray each morning. To our amazement, we can discover, as the women did, that what we thought of as a tomb becomes a wellspring of new life. God is constantly at work in our lives, bringing life out of death. Easter, in that sense, is not just a past event, it's happening now, because the God who raised Jesus from the dead is actively at work in all of our lives, because the God of Easter is at work among us. We are an Easter people, a people of hope. But we have to be honest, it's difficult to have hope, hope-filled faith in a world in which we live. Cynicism, relativism, division, terrorism, all can threaten our flame of hope. The secularism in areas of our nation where creation is worship rather than the Creator, on the very definition of life, from one's being to marriage to family, and religious liberty, all under attack. In our own time, we continue to hear the voice of those who went to Pilate declaring, "Command the tomb to be made secure." This day, the risen Lord comes to us to rekindle our hope in his power to open our tombs. He comes to renew our conviction about his life-giving presence at the heart of all things. In our gospel, we are told that the women who were filled with joy were sent by the risen Lord as messengers of Easter hope and joy to the other disciples, whom he identifies as my brothers. The women's journey away from the tomb was very different from their journey to the tomb. They arrived, immersed in their own grief, but left, joy-filled, to bring the good news. The risen Lord comes to us on this Easter morning, calling us to take a new path, one that is of loving service to those he calls his brothers and sisters, especially those who have suffered in any way and have lost hope. How often in the Gospels do we hear Jesus say, "Do not be afraid"? Those are important words for all of us. Let us seek the Lord then with a sincere heart. He wants to work through each of us today to bring the light of his love into the dark corners of our lives. That is our Easter mission. It's our baptismal calling. Do not be afraid. Happy Easter.